Good evening, everybody. It's Rebecca Witherspoon here. A lot of my friends call me Becky, so if you want to do that, feel free to call me Becky, okay? Hey, tonight is episode 2 of the Developing a Winning Mindset series. It's a 7-day series that I'm doing. Last night was the first episode, so if you haven't watched it, when you're done tonight, go back and watch that one. Hey, Larry. Tonight we're going to be talking about it. I've entitled it Think and Grow Rich because it's based off of the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. But what it is the foundational principles that we're going to work with throughout the rest of this series. After tonight, I'm actually going to be giving you all the really practical steps, but tonight I'll be talking about some of those. But anyway, these are foundational to everything about mindset. By the way, I wanted to show you something. It's a t-shirt I just recently got when I was down in New Orleans. Can you see that? It says, mindset is everything. And that's what this is all about. So let's get started. So Napoleon Hill says that a goal is a dream with a deadline. So yesterday we talked about bankrupt mindsets and that stinking thinking that I used to have, and a lot of us have, and how to work around getting past that to changing it into a more positive mindset so that you can actually achieve some of the goals you're wanting to achieve, maybe more of the goals that you wanted to achieve. So in a previous video that I did, it's been a couple weeks ago, I actually talked some about this book. And I have to admit, the first time I heard about this Napoleon Hill dude, and he was about 100 years ago, by the way. He wrote that book, I don't know, I think it was right around in the 1920s or 30s. And so the language that he uses in the book is kind of archaic, so I'm going to kind of update it for tonight. But when I first heard about this dude and the Think and Grow Rich, I got to admit, I thought, oh God, it's going to be one of those nutcases that's going to try and tell me I can think my way to riches. And in a way, I was right. But here's where I was wrong. He's not a nutcase, okay? So let's talk about what his foundational principles are, because his foundational principles are what most of the top people in the business world. Hi, Phil. Lovely to see you, guy. How you doing? These foundational principles, they have been used by some of the top people in the industry of personal development, motivational speaking, business development, and a whole host of other things. But here's some people. For instance, Jim Rohn, one of the greatest speakers of all time, and I'm privileged to have had him a part of our company for many, many years, from early in the when our company was first started. Ed Milet, he is one of the top guys out there right now. If you Google Ed Milet or just go to YouTube and put in Ed Milet, and that's EDMYLETT, you will be blown away by what he has to say. Tony Robbins and Zig Ziglar are some others. There's so many there's a host of other people that are some of the top in their industry as far as helping people develop their minds, get to a level where they're actually able to succeed at whatever it is they're trying to succeed at. And that's what this series is all about. It's just it's a kind of an introduction to how to get your mind in the right space. So for the sake of clear understanding, because the book is, again, it's kind of in an archaic language that we really don't use anymore, I'm going to be using language that we're used to, and to share the principles that he shared in his book. I'm only going to share a few of them tonight, because to share it all would take me probably an hour, and I'm not going to take up that much of your time tonight. So I'm going to highlight a few of them, and then if you want the full transcript of all of the foundational principles, drop me a note below, email me, private message me, whatever, and I will send you a PDF of the entire transcript of what I would have said if I was going to do this for an hour. But anyway, so some of these I'm going to kind of combine because they're pretty closely related. But I'm going to name them off to you, and then I'll start talking about some of these. So foundation principle number 1 is unwavering desire. I will talk about that shortly. Foundational principle number 2 is unwavering faith. Hi, Michelle. The third one is visualization. The fourth one is specialized knowledge. Number 5 is imagination. Number 6 is organized planning. Number 7 is decisions or decision making. Number 8 is, I kind of changed how he called it. I call it mentorship and coaching. And number 9 is the subconscious mind and affirmations. And number 10 is I just kept his name because I thought it was awesome, because it gets to the heart of what the principle is. It's called outwitting fear. And we talked some about fear last night. So let me just kind of briefly summarize some of these principles so that you get an idea of what they're actually about. Hi, Victor. Nice to see you guys. How is it over there? Are you guys drying out yet? So unwavering desire and unwavering faith. I'm going to kind of put those two together for a moment. So without desire to become better than who you are right now, the chances of becoming better are almost none. Okay, they're kind of non-existent, because if you don't have a desire, you're not going to do anything. Okay, so that's it's kind of a simple way of saying it, but it really is true. So then unwavering faith, if you combine that with that unwavering desire, then unwavering faith is that deep desires are often stem from a belief in something. So when we believe in something, especially something that could happen, it is absolutely necessary to have faith that it's even possible for you personally to achieve that. If you don't have faith that you're capable of achieving it, then the likelihood of you achieving it or not achieving it is almost certain. The likelihood of you achieving it without some kind of pretty strong faith is kind of low. Okay, some people do kind of get lucky and chance their way to success, but let's face it, most people who are successful do not chance their way. They are very purposeful, and they have an agenda. They know exactly what they're wanting to do, and they do it. Okay, so let me talk just a little bit more about that desire. It is a gut deep, unwavering desire. It's absolutely required for someone or someone to get better. And why do I say that? It's because desire fuels the fire to move someone from simply wishing something into actively doing whatever is necessary to achieve that which they desire to achieve. Okay, if your mindset has previously or currently been focused more on what you lack, you will subconsciously attract lack into your life. You won't lack abundance, or you won't attract abundance. We'll put it that way. Okay. Now, a poor mindset will keep you frozen in place, resulting in an absolute assurance that you're never going to reach your desired goals. Let's just put it the way it is. Okay. It's a fact. Okay. When your mindset is focused on the presence or the addition of something in your life, an unwavering desire will push you out of your comfort zone, that space where you feel kind of safe. Okay, it'll push you out of your comfort zone into an active state of doing whatever is necessary. Okay, so again, if you want more about what these principles are about, please drop me a note so I can send you this, because it's full. There's so much in here. Now, the next principle I do want to touch on is visualization. And I'm going to kind of read this because I wanted to really say this in a particular way. I don't want to miss saying this one, because this one is really, really important. I cannot emphasize how important this one is. Until you can actually see, visualize in your mind what you want to achieve, what the end result of your labors should look like, okay, it will be very, very difficult, if not impossible, to achieve your goal. Why? Because you have no target at which to shoot, okay? You must know what you're wanting to achieve in order to be able to go for it, okay? For example, if you want to build, here's a great example. If you want to build a vacation home, we just did, okay? Well, it's actually been a couple years ago. We tore down our old place and we rebuilt a all season, year-round place. The one before was it was a small cottage that we could only use part of the year because it didn't have the proper plumbing and for the winter, okay? And we get kind of cold up here, so pipes kind of freeze up here. So anyway, part of the process of building that vacation home was very, very intense visualization. Okay, so for example, if you want to build that vacation home, you must first describe in detail to an architect what your house will look like, what you want it to look like, okay? The size of the rooms, the shape of the roof, whether it will have a porch or a sunroom, how many bedrooms, how many bathrooms, will it have a basement, will it have an upstairs, how many bathrooms, will it have a garage, how big should that garage be, will there be any extra room in the garage, for like a work area or storage space, what color of the walls, what color do you want the walls to be, and what kind of light fixtures do you want in your home? Do you want any accent walls? Accent walls meaning they're a different color, or there may be a different color than the majority of your walls. And getting back to the lights, where you want those lights located, how many outlets you want, and where along the walls do you want those located, what style of doors do you want, what kind of siding do you want? Do you want traditional aluminum siding, or that vinyl siding, or do you want something more maintenance free, like the LP Smart siding? That's what we chose, and it was an extra cost, but we were supremely happy in that LP Smart siding. So if you're ever thinking about siding, I highly recommend that you look into that, but that's an aside. Sorry about that. Will you have a shingled roof or a metal roof or some other kind of roof, okay? What style of windows do you want? And, do you want them to raise this way? Do you want them to go like this? Or do you want them to go like that? What kind of windows, what style of windows do you want? And how energy efficient do you want them? That the list can go on and on. I'm not going to go any further into the list, but you've got to be extremely detailed for that architect so he can see what it is you're wanting, because he's the one who's got to draw up the blueprints for the construction dude, who then is going to have to implement the actual constructing of the home. And if he doesn't have clearly detailed instructions on what it is we want, guess what? We would have gotten something we had not even remotely envisioned. So visualization is extremely important in determining where you want to go, and that's part of your mind, your mindset. If you're sitting here thinking, oh, I'd love to have such and such, or I'd love to go so and so, or I'd love to have a business, or whatever it might be, but you don't really visualize the details, you're not even going to know where to start. Okay, so visualization, very, very important. So then once you know your goal, once you have visualized the goal, hi Chris, that you're wanting to achieve, then you have to determine if there's any specialized knowledge you need. Okay, so here's the kicker. You don't have to necessarily have that specialized knowledge. You at the very least have to know where to obtain that specialized knowledge. So, and I will actually talk a little bit more about that tomorrow, in my episode tomorrow. But that specialized knowledge, just understand this. I'm not talking about going and having some college degree or whatnot. Okay. Hi, Carmen. I'm talking about understanding what kind of information you're going to need to know to achieve your desired goal. Okay. So now the next thing is imagination. Hey, when we're kids, Chris, you can probably relate to this. When we're kids, and your kids, I bet, are really good at this, we have great imaginations when we're kids. We can envision just about anything, and we can make pans our musical instruments. We can make mud and milkweed. I used to do this. We can make mud and milkweed into gourmet mud pies, and serve them up. The sun is our oven and or whatnot. I mean, we have such imagination when we're children. But then as we get a little bit older, probably in that, once we start school, then the imagination that we used to express, okay, now we're told, yeah, that's kind of childish. You need to get with the program, So you start to kind of suppress some of your imagination. Then by the time you get to high school, you are told you need to do your problems this way, and if you don't do them this way, then your answer is going to be wrong, whether it's right or not. Okay. So, and what do I mean by that? Okay. So there's steps to math problems. This is just an example. Okay. Well, maybe you have a great imagination. Maybe you can see the answer by doing it a different way. Now, the different way is not necessarily wrong. It's just a different way to reach the same answer, but yet the teacher said, no, that is not right. Okay. So our imagination is kind of crushed. By the time we get out of high school, unless you have had a really awesome support system behind you, your imagination has probably been crushed. Okay. And you've put it aside, you've suppressed it. And so imagination really plays heavily in that visualization that I was talking about a moment ago. So one of the things that I highly encourage people to do, especially when they feel I don't have much imagination. I was one of those. I thought I had lost all my imagination. And one of the things I was told to do was start visualizing, start daydreaming, just start thinking, just think about things. Okay. And again, tomorrow I'm going to talk, or actually here in a little while, I'm going to talk a little bit more about, because I'm going to give you an exercise to do. It'll be a fun exercise, I promise, and it'll be a very useful one. So that one's done now. The next one that I mentioned was organized planning, and this one is actually going to be the topic of tomorrow's episode, and it's all about, hi Melody, it's going to be all about, this is the part where once you have clearly visualized the end goal, you can then begin to figure out the steps that are necessary to actually reach your goal. Okay. And part of that is a little bit of the specialized knowledge, but I'm not talking about that at this point. I'm just talking about understanding what it's going to take to get to where you want to go. So here's the thing you really need to understand about this one though, and be prepared for ahead of time. If you're not ready for this, you will not reach your desired goal. I promise you, if you're not ready for this particular step, if you're not willing to follow through with this step, you're going to kind of come to a standstill, at least for a period of time, until you get your mind in the right place. Okay. And that's what this series is all about, getting your mind in the right place. Here's what you need to know. You will absolutely have missteps along your path to reaching your goal. You will begin one plan of action. You'll discover that you missed something along the path, and you're like, oh, pooey, this one's not going to get me where I'm wanting to go. But that's okay. It is okay. We learn from our mistakes, okay? It's just kind of like Thomas Edison. Everybody knows who Thomas Edison, I hope. I hope you do. He is the one who discovered and invented the light bulb that we know today, okay? He famously said about his repeated failures in developing the light bulb, I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. Many of life's failures are people who did not realize just how incredibly close they were to success when they gave up, okay? So I want you to understand, you're gonna have missteps. Don't worry about it. Just refocus, figure out where your misstep was, tweak your plan, and move forward again. And you're gonna have to tweak it again probably, okay? So just keep that in mind. So now, the next principle is decisions. Allowing yourself to become paralyzed in the decision-making process is the number one cause of failure. It's called procrastination. Who in here has ever procrastinated about doing something, deciding something, and then by the time you finally decided to do something, it was too late. You had missed the opportunity. The ship had gone down the stream. The train was down the tracks, whatever it was. I mean, your ship had sailed, okay? And you're sitting there thinking, why didn't I decide that sooner? Okay, so procrastination, indecision, okay, is the number one killer. It's the number one reason for people to fail. So you often have only a split second to make a decision on how to react to lessen the potential danger of harm or death if you're getting ready to be in a car accident, okay? You see something coming up and you're like, oh, you have a split second to make a decision, okay? Are you going to sit there and, oh, should I go this way? Should I go that way? No, you're going to make a decision. You're going to make it right then. And that's kind of like what I'm talking about. You take what you know and you make a decision. Right or wrong, you just make a decision. And I'm going to say this, not deciding is a decision, okay? It is a decision that says no, okay? So when you think you're not making a decision, you actually kind of are. It's just you're allowing yourself to be forced into a no, okay? You're forcing yourself into a no. So enough about that one for now. We'll kind of touch on that throughout this series. Number 8, again, was mentorship and coaching. I'm going to talk more about that in an upcoming video in this series. So I'm just going to say this. This is something that I cannot speak enough of. They say that we are the average of the 5 people that we spend the most time with, okay? Our intimate circle of influence, okay? You need to look at your circle of influence. Who is it that you're hanging out with? Are they negative? Are they criminals? Are they positive? Are they helping? Are they challenging you to become better? Are they successful, or are they just kind of laid back and they are just going with the flow of life? Okay, if they're just going with the flow of life, and you're wanting to accomplish something, then let's put it this way: you need to change your circle, your intimate circle of influence. Okay, now I'm not saying you necessarily have to give up people. I'm just saying you might want to reduce some of the interaction. Okay, now next thing, and I'm almost done, your subconscious mind and affirmation. This one is, again, it's kind of tied in with another thing that I'm going to be talking about tomorrow. So I'm going to leave that one for tomorrow. Just know this, you don't want to miss tomorrow night because it's really important. And then outwitting fear. We have absolute control of our thoughts, our enemies, our indecision, doubt, and fear. And indecision breeds doubt, and the two together give birth to fear. So by controlling our thoughts, we control our destiny. So I'm not going to go too heavily into this just for the sake of time, but let me know if you want my transcript because I've got some really good stuff in there about that. Now, those are kind of the foundational principles. Um, they're literally the foundation of everything else we're going to be doing. But here is an action step. This is a little exercise. I think you guys are going to really enjoy it. I want you to do this and just let me know if you did it, and if you'd like to share it with me privately, not on Facebook. Okay, just share it with me privately. I would love to see what the results of this exercise are. So here it is, and this will be in the transcript if you need it to be repeated to you. Okay. If you're feeling stuck in life or moving in a direction that you believe is not helpful, or maybe you feel like life is good, but it could be better, then I want you to sit down and write for 10 to 20 minutes without interruption. Make sure you're in a location with the least amount of distractions. That means if your kids are at home, maybe they can be sent out to play, or if they're younger, maybe they can be laid down for a nap. Turn off your phone. Turn it over so you don't see the light coming on when people text you or something. Tell everyone in your family that unless the house is literally burning down around you, leave you alone, okay, just for a little while. I think they can do without you for 10 or 20 minutes. Now, for those 10 or 20 minutes, I want you to practice opening your mind to your heart, okay? I want you to, well, first off, I know this might be a little scary because some of us, we're not used to thinking the way I'm getting ready to tell you to do. Okay, so what I want you to write about, think back to when life was less complicated. For many, that will be when you were quite a bit younger. Okay, think about and write about the things you used to want to do with your life. Okay, there was a time in my life I wanted to go to the Air Force Academy. Now I had to give that one up because my eyes weren't good enough, okay, for what I wanted to accomplish there. So, but that was a dream that I used to have. Now, no matter how silly those desires that you used to have might seem to you now, go ahead and write them down. As many as you can remember. Write them down, anything you wanted to do as you began to get a bit older. Okay, so as you're growing older. Now, write those things down that you wanted to do. Now, keep moving forward in your life and in your mind until you come to the current day, okay? Continue to write the things you've wanted to do throughout your life. So for now, don't second guess what you're writing. Just write it, okay? Write whatever you feel, whatever comes to your mind, okay? Whatever makes you happy, man. Whatever brings giggles inside of you, okay? We will revisit what you write in an upcoming video. So whatever you write, keep it. Keep it in a safe place, especially if you don't want somebody else to see it. But we're going to revisit that. I don't know if we'll revisit it tomorrow, but we might touch on it tomorrow, but we will be revisiting it. So keep hold of that. Make sure you do it. If you don't do it tonight, then do it as soon as possible, okay? So that is it for tonight. I want to thank everybody who's a part of this with me. The interaction with you guys is awesome. I love you guys. If you want to know any more about what I might be able to do for you guys, or if you have any topics that you want me to delve into in coming up live videos, let me know. Hi, Kathy. And I'll see what I can do for you. Okay, if nothing else, we'll have a nice conversation. Hi, Jeff. So that's it for tonight, folks. I love y'all. You all have a great rest of the evening, and I will see you tomorrow. And you don't want to miss tomorrow. It's going to be an awesome one. So love you. Ta-ta.